All right, so we mentioned this with Charlie Casserly just a minute ago, but we probably should explore this and maybe just speculate. I tend to believe it doesn't mean much, but Ron Rivera did an interview, the new head coach of the Redskins, and he was asked about the quarterback position, and he said, I also don't want to forget Alex Smith. Here's a guy that's been doing everything he can to come back, and he seemingly is leaving the door open for Smith to compete with Haskins for the starting job. Do you take this as a slight towards Haskins? Do you think he's just being respectful towards Alex Smith? I tend to believe he's just being respectful towards Alex Smith, and it's not a slight towards Haskins.
I think he's trying to motivate Haskins.
I don't know if he's a total believer in Dwayne Haskins.
He might not be.
Well, how could you be? He's far from a finished product.
Might not be.
I mean, he still has a long way to go in his development.
Yeah.
I think
how could you be?
He's probably cautiously optimistic, but besides if he had a better option, you know what I mean? He's not necessarily thrilled about the idea
you
of
don't
having
think he's
developed a
hitched
young
his wagon to Haskins? Like some people thought,
Like
whoever comes here as the head coach, Snyder loves Haskins. They're going to be stuck with Haskins.
Well, I think
as
he
the
had to pay
quarterback.
the lip service to say, yeah, I'm happy to work with the kid.
Yeah. But if Haskins doesn't work out, they got to move on.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Haskins has. I would think he has one full season to prove to Ron Rivera that he could be the starting quarterback going ahead for the next 3 or 4 years.
Oh, I think the reality is he might not even have one full season.
But if he doesn't, then Rivera's going to start looking elsewhere.
Takes, he might have 6 weeks.
Maybe.
You never know how these coaches are going to be. What if he goes out there? I don't expect it. What if he poops the bed for 6 weeks? You think he's just going to play him for 16 games? I don't see it.
Probably not. That's why he needs and wants some competition there to kind of motivate Haskins and keep him on his toes and not think he's just being gifted, 16 weeks worth of starts.
Now, that being said, I don't think Alex Smith is an option.
Oh, I don't think so.
I don't think it is either.
I mean, I would be shocked. That would be one of the most incredible comebacks in sports history.
Yeah.
If he went from almost dying.
Yeah.
Or certainly
17 surgeries,
almost amputating the leg.
Right. You've seen the leg. I just can't even see a doctor clearing him to play, frankly.
Yeah.
Let alone being able to actually do it. That's what's shocking to me. But nevertheless, if you're a Haskins guy, you don't really want to hear this because you just want Haskins in there, and you're gonna at this point you're riding or dying with him.
Right.
And you don't want any distraction. You don't like. Let's just say, let's just say Alex has had this remarkable recovery that we can't fathom, and that Alex Smith is basically at 95%. Like, he's had an unbelievable comeback, and because if he is, he would beat out Dwayne Haskins, in my opinion.
Probably.
Alex Smith at 95% is going to beat out a kid who's played like 6 games.
Maybe by a little bit, but he's been a year and a half out of football. And let's be honest. I know that people, admire him for trying to come back from his injury. He wasn't very good before the injury. He just wasn't. He was
spectacular. He was winning.
True.
He was winning
but
games,
he's a
whatever. He was not putting up numbers that you need to
true.
compete in the modern day NFL. He just wasn't.
He was taking care of the football, and for a new head coach, let's just say hypothetically, Alex Smith was capable enough to play. You might trust him more.
Yeah, but if I'm Ron Rivera, I'm going to go out on the market and I'm going to find what I think is a capable backup, a healthy, capable backup.
Oh yeah.
To push Dwayne Haskins. And if Haskins struggles, I'll give him the hook and I'll throw the ball to the backup and see if he can get the job done.
Right.
Now, hopefully that doesn't happen and Haskins takes that next step and he's the starter here for the next few years. But we just don't know that at this point, if that's going to be the case.
What if Rivera and the new personnel people fall in love with one of the quarterbacks?
I know. I was going to ask that. What if they're blown away by Tua?
Or Herbert?
I don't know.
I don't think they're going to make that move. Like I really believe you got to give Haskins a shot. I don't know if it'll be a full season. I think you got to give him a shot, but I do think if Haskins doesn't wow Rivera, he'll move on in year 2.
I just think there's no guarantee of a full season. If he struggles,
right,
they're about now. They don't really care that much about developing you.
Right. Look at what happened in Miami. They brought it over Josh Rosen, and after a couple games, Fitzpatrick was running the show.
He was supposed to be the guy for years.
Yeah. I would agree, though. I think that he certainly deserves to be the number 1 guy all throughout the offseason. He has to be the number 1 guy in camp.
Get the number one reps.
Get the number one reps. Now, after half of a season, if he's regressing,
If he's just pooping the bed,
then,
I don't
then
expect
you
that.
got to make a move. But he also he doesn't have enough
You
time.
have to
right
help
now.
him.
He doesn't have enough time yet.
I don't think Rivera's in love with Haskins, though.
Well, he also doesn't have.
We don't know where
might
he
not
had
be.
him in the draft. Like when he was
Yeah.
in Carolina, obviously he scouted Dwayne Haskins, just doing his due diligence and talked to his personnel people. I think at best he's lukewarm on Haskins. Haskins can impress him and can win the job and be his guy for the next 5 years, or Haskins can be, and then he's just going to move on.
Yeah.
Well, you'd better get him another starting wideout, and he needs a tight end.
Yeah.
Like you
Great.
cannot go into
We talked about that on
2020.
Friday.
I mean, you need to surround him with some weapons to help him
Well,
succeed.
they're definitely going to do something at tight end because now Vernon Davis made it official and he retired. Not that anybody expected him to be back.
Yeah, he was doing a bit with like Rob Gronkowski to announce his
And
retirement
James
in a bit.
Harrison.
I can't believe how much run Gronk got on the pregame shows. Every time I turned it on, he was on.
I was too busy placing
Isn't he
bets. I
terrible?
wasn't paying any attention.
He's just a goofball.
He's a goofball.
I mean,
right.
he's out there dancing. They call it Gronk Beach, and he's got this DJ.
I was too busy picking losers.